Coming up in this episode is Wakefield's new pitch and issue, Molo enters guilty plea in court, and the NRL kickoff party has been cancelled. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. And we have got a scheme running for the Buy Me a Coffee page. If you can donate, please do. No obligation, but it helps the channel. Anyway, today's episode begins down in Australia as the NRL and the Rugby League Players Association have both come to a loggerheads with their decision to negotiate a new collective bargaining agreement still on the books. This has caused a little bit of friction as the NRL have been disappointed by the fact that one of their most important news conferences of the season has been cancelled due to the constant delays putting forward this collective bargaining agreement. Every year the NRL have a season launch, and that has now become a casualty for the game's pay dispute. It has been a tradition to kick off the league year with a glitzy event, but the head office opted not to go ahead with this season. The NRL, which had initially planned to hold the event in Brisbane before considering shifting it to the game's headquarters in Sydney, informed the clubs of the decision on Tuesday. However, the players last month had threatened to boycott the launch of the new NRL season over the lack of progress during the negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement, a joint one with help from the women's game. You'll be able to see what that is. I've been about here right now. Anyway, while progress has been made in recent days, particularly since ARLC chairman Peter Vlandis became personally involved in the negotiations, the NRL choose not to proceed with the launch given the talks are ongoing. An NRL statement said, due to the ongoing collective bargaining agreement negotiations, the NRL will not hold a season launch function this Thursday as originally planned. The NRL remains focused on making positive progress regarding the joint NRL-NRW-LW agreements. The last major event boycotted by rugby league players was the 2003 Daily M Award ceremony. The Rugby League Players Association made the call due to the lack of progress in terms of pay talks at the time. Winner of the medal was never crowned, with most pundits of the belief that Craig Gower, who had a stellar year with Penrith, would have been the recipient. Last year's launch would have been held at Penrith to mark their premiership success in 2021. However, it was cancelled due to flooding in the area, and the money was donated to those affected. Discussions with the NRL and the RLPA continued on Tuesday, raising hopes that the CBA could be achieved before round 1. Now, with the Australian Rugby League Commission Chair Vlandis on board, hopefully the negotiations can be taken properly serious now, so that the players can get the resources that they need and the agreements that they need for both them and the women's game to improve their after sports pay, everything. The sport in Australia is the biggest one and needs to be chosen, treated like it should be on both the men's and the women's side. Next we come to St George Illawarra Dragons forward Francis Molo, who has been in court and pled guilty to stalking, intimidating a woman in a domestic setting at Shell Cove shortly before Christmas last year. The 28-year-old joined the Dragons from North Queensland ahead of the 2022 season, featuring in 21 games for the Red V. However, his future at the club could be in jeopardy following the charge. While Molo did not appear in the Port Kembla court on Wednesday, the matter was mentioned in court with Molo's lawyers disputing some aspects of the charge, although the front rower has still pled guilty. The two-time Queensland Maroon has been ordered not to approach the woman for at least 12 hours after drinking alcohol or taking illicit drugs. Molo can still be stood down under the no-fault stand-down policy for any matter involving a woman or child, but it is at the discretion of NRL CEO Andrew Abdo. On the playing side, it's yet another blow for the Dragons, who have now lost Cody Ramsey, Josh Corrich to season-long injuries or illness, Talatala Mone to a no-fault stand-down policy, while Michaeli Ravalawa and Zane Musgrove have been fined for a heated exchange in Mudgee. The Dragons player has had their club release a statement over the decision on Wednesday night, stating the Dragons player Francis Molo today pled guilty to an intimidation charge relating to an incident at his home on December the 17th. The NRL Integrity Unit was made aware of the matter at the time. The Dragons will continue to provide Francis and his partner with any further support they require. The club will make no further comments on the matter. While Molo's court hearings is still ongoing, when it comes to the stance of no-fault stand-down policy that the NRL puts in, according to reports, this charge does not meet the required severity to automatically prevent him from playing. One of the more recent cases of the no-fault stand-down condition was applied when Luciano Leilua was charged for allegedly domestic violence. On the field, the Dragons prop had previously been banned for 4 matches for a high tackle in his side's game against Gold Coast Titans at the back end of last year. However, his club has successfully argued that his remaining game should be counted towards his absence from the Samoan side at the Rugby League World Cup. The Dragons noted that the former Queensland representative would have been picked for Samoa if he hadn't already been banned. This meant Molo was originally free to play in the round 2 against the Titans from the Red V against the Titans, with the Red V being their season opener was a bye game. But if he is issued a no-fault stand-down policy, Molo will be unable to return to the Dragons team until the completion of the court matter. It is a continuation of the horror situation for the club for off-season matters. We've gone through the list of what's gone on, but St George Illawarra were looking to improve on last year's season running to get into the playoffs. But at this point, more turbulence there than a bad weather plane takeoff. On Friday night, it saw Catalans beat Wakefield Trinity to start their season. It was played in front of a backdrop of a stadium that is excitingly being redeveloped to give Trinity that higher grade, possibly. Trinity in the end didn't get the win they wanted, despite some encouraging signs against Catalans Dragons. This will have delighted Mark Applegarth, the opposite number to Steve McNamara, but the Catalans coach was less than pleased with the pitch. As the development of Wakefield continues, Wakefield set about their redevelopment with a new pitch before all the stands started to be reconstructed, and the pitch marries up artificial turf with the real thing. However, McNamara has revealed its gory consequences for the players. It was a pretty tough game on a pitch that took skin off your legs. The boys their legs are red raw. It's an issue. It's an issue for Wakefield moving forward for their players. I haven't seen anything like it before in terms of blisters and blood. That in their talking about in their dressing room, in there, off that field there. And asked would he play his team on this sort of surface or continually. He said, "No, I'm not a fan. Not if that's the outcome. If the outcome is that, then definitely. It's going to create issues, I'm sure. We haven't got to play on it again, but they have to play on it every other week." I don't quite realise it was like that before we came. We'd seen the pictures but it is an issue. He then stated that the worst dressing room I've seen for skin taken off the legs without a doubt. So the pitch did damage to the Dragons, but it was the Dragons' former Wakefield star Tom Johnson who did the damage for Trinity. He was up there with a man of the match performance as he was able to score a hat-trick against his former side. Johnson may need another man of the match appearance after he revealed the nasty consequences of the turf on his legs, with some nasty images of what the pitch has done to his legs. If you're a bit squeamish, look away now. He's shown the pictures of his legs out on Instagram while he joked it's 95% grass and we're still whinging. It is a pitch that is now up there with all soccer stadiums, to be fair. As for longevity, the pitches are becoming slightly artificial to help the grass sustain itself for a bit longer. I do my bits with Bolton Wanderers and you'll be able to see the difference night and day when it comes to the pitch this year to the one next year with the new redevelopment. It's now called the TS Community Stadium. But anyway, it's one of those things that the players are going to have to battle through. Lower leagues clubs have to have a partially artificial pitch to get the maximised longevity from the pitch, and they're not churning out new grass ones every single year, which is like £200,000 a year. For a rugby league club with the salary caps and the monies that they get, £200,000 is a lot. Imagine doing that in the lower leagues. Anyway, it will cause a few issues with players at the beginning, but once they get used to it, should be no problem. It's a pitch at the end of the day. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way in the near future. Tell me what your thoughts are on the episode in the comment section below, as we're always looking to improve this format so that you can enjoy more and we can bring in a few more people as it looks a bit more professional. Tell me what your thoughts are on the stories. Do you think the Wakefield lot are just rubbing people the wrong way, where they should be doing, to get that psychological advantage to go again next week? Do you think there's a genuine cause for concern for people playing on the Wakefield pitch? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you can, please remember to see if you can donate to Buy Me a Coffee. No obligation, but any donation will be appreciated. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. I'll end the episode as I always do by wishing you all the very best. So please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.